Hey everyone, this is Ian Miller, Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. Welcome back. Tonight we actually have a really great guest. He is the co-host of the Superhero Stuff You Should Know. He's also the director of our topic tonight, Metal Force. Please welcome Andrew Bush. Andrew,
Hey, thank you for having me. This is a pleasure.
not a problem. Yeah, that you're actually the third Andrew I actually know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've grown up with two Andrews from my high school. They're good friends of mine, so don't worry about that.
Okay, yeah. I feel like I haven't met a whole lot,
Yeah,
yeah, in my life. Not as many as you'd expect.
yeah. Okay, so Metal Force. How did this come about?
Okay. So Metal Force is a film that we had it in mind to be a series at first, but then we felt like that's better just as a single film.
Hmm.
So it came about kind of in the pandemic. During the pandemic, during lockdown, I had this idea to kind of make my dream project, which is essentially an R-rated kind of Power Rangers meets Stranger Things, sci-fi horror comedy uh, project. And my other influences would be, any kind of like bloody anime I saw in the '90s, uh, anything like that. A lot of Common Rider is actually R-rated. There was some R-rated Common Rider movies, I think. So if you think about those movies, but with five Common Riders, you're not far away from the idea of Metal Force, and
Yeah.
they are a you know I'm into metal. I have been for a while now, and I wanted that to be part of it. And how perfect is it that a metal band becomes a Power Ranger team? Actually, the Power Rangers, the actual show, has never done anything like that, and I thought that would be a cool idea. And they're black metal,
Hmm.
so the most evil metal there is. I mean, they're not evil people, but I wanted it to be like it's not Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
I love Bill and Ted, but these are not caricatures. These are real people. That's why the Stranger Things overall tone works, and the way those like the characters are funny with each other, but
Hmm.
they're surrounded in darkness basically,
Yeah.
and they have very heavy things going on around them. But the banter between them can be funny. So that's why I say it's a really that's why I say it's Stranger Things influence, because that's kind of the main tone. And also, if you know a horror movie called Green Room, there's a punk band in that, that are the main characters in that. And that's a great way to wrap your head around what we're trying to do. And yeah, I just wanted to see dark Power Rangers. The main Power Rangers influence is that they're a diverse cast, they're young, there's five people that become, that get these suits, and they like yeah, that's basically it. And the suits are similar to Power Rangers but way darker,
Yeah.
like Kamen Rider Black style. Uh so like kind of like that. And but not really the tone of Power Rangers. Okay, so that's kind of the big thing. That's been kind of a hurdle in kind of pitching this idea at times. Is sometimes I wonder if I want to just stop saying that and just say they get superhero suits that cover their body. Like maybe that's better,
Yeah.
because I don't know, but yeah, so that's been kind of the idea. And the other element of it is alien abduction.
Oh.
They become abducted and then get the suits by the aliens, so
Hmm.
they're forced on them. It's not like a cool thing. It's not like an awesome thing that happens to them, and that's the horror aspect of it. So there is definitely like an X Files, you know, thing in this. Like, yeah, there's X Files influence also on this. So yeah, I was just wanted to kind of combine all the stuff I like into one sort of dream project. And Susie Clay Hartman is writing the script, and we're currently on the way to. We're going to do. We already did a Kickstarter, but we need a little bit more money,
Hmm.
and we're going to do a seed and spark, and that's linked at metalforce.ninja. At the top of it, though, we do have our GoFundMe, which is always ongoing. But if you don't care about getting any kind of benefits, which some people really don't, they don't care. So, and GoFundMe is recognizable and easy. So some
Yeah.
people are just like, yeah, here's some money on GoFundMe. So there's a GoFundMe actually on the top and of the page. And then if you scroll to the bottom, at least for now, at the bottom is the Seed and Spark. You can see the preview for that campaign, which
Yeah.
will, yeah, there it is. So there's a GoFundMe at the top, and the campaign video, which is kind of our proof of concept
Hmm.
video, is there, so you can check that out. It's that's 11 minutes, but that's because it has like an explanation at the end of it. It's actually only 6 minutes long.
Okay.
And poster by Zachary Jackson Brown. He pretty much killed it. It was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
And
Great.
yeah, it's awesome. Probably a future poster will have the actual cast in it, but for right now, that's it. Some people have thought that this is animated,
Mhm.
but it's not. It's that's just again kind of like just to get the ball rolling kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we have our actors at the bottom. They've already been cast. However, I will say, because there has been a long time, and I probably shouldn't have announced this like immediately. There could be some changes here and there because things have happened. Some things I don't want to give away too much, but there could be some minor changes in cast here and there. And I do say that on the campaign,
Hmm.
on the Kickstarter, there are little asterisks, little disclaimers on all of it. So there is that. And the other big disclaimer is in the campaign video, the art is not final. It was just a proof of concept preliminary art used in that. So please know that. And then yeah, at the bottom here, it's basically just the Seed and Spark link. If you want to click on this, hopefully that
All right.
link will work while
Right.
we're live. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, coming soon. I have a lot of like. That's the same campaign video,
Yeah.
and just a lot of the art here. Some new art because it's a newer campaign. I
Hmm.
have a newer like a helmet design. I needed this for to actually explain to the sculptors
Yeah.
how to make it. So there's that. Here's influences again. Black metal, Men in Black, evil Men in Black. Like I don't know how much you know about conspiracy theories, but like the conspiracy theory version of Men in Black, X-Files, Stranger Things, and all that.
Yeah.
This concept art here is from an Instagram artist named Toku J, Tokujay,
Yeah.
in the influences thing.
Okay. Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
see.
at the bottom left, the little ninja looking one.
Yeah.
So yeah, check him out. And yeah, so this is going to be starting probably in late July, and we're going to be at Power Morphicon in LA,
Ooh.
in Pasadena. So we will have something there and a booth there and campaigning and trying to get the funds, and then hopefully shoot. I wish we could shoot the whole thing, but we're going to just shoot part of it. More than likely, unless something incredible happens.
Hmm.
Because with suits and with actors and this, with everything, this is going to be, it's not the cheapest film you could make. I mean, it's not the most expensive, but it's
Yeah.
it's more than $5,000. I put it that way.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, here's descriptions of the band. We have, uh, you know, I haven't given away too much of this, but one new thing I can say on your show is
Hmm.
like we do have the characters really fleshed out. Like this is just part of it here. We made a chart and made sure that we have exactly how they think about each other,
Okay.
which is a Marv Wolfman idea that we
Yeah.
got at a convention one time. Ben and I were there. So yeah, we our characters are I think are pretty fleshed out, pretty good.
Hmm.
So, and Susie's doing a great job. This is Susie. Um, I kind of had the original idea. I had like when you see story by and
Yeah,
screenplay by.
yeah,
I'm the story by, but she's the screenplay by.
yeah. She was able to
So
take your ideas and develop it a bit more.
she fleshed it out pretty much.
Yeah.
And so and the other thing too is our main characters are women.
Mhm.
So it's pretty much just probably better ultimately that she write the nitty gritty of it. So yeah, the band is 3 women and 2 men.
Mhm.
So there that is. And then the next part is me, I guess, and
Yeah.
this is another like little explanation video.
Mhm.
We don't have to get into that now, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just that's pretty much it. And hopefully shoot for it's realistically, hopefully we shoot a weekend in October. I'm trying to see if I can at least make that happen.
Yeah.
And even though it's a feature, so Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, I don't know if you've seen that, but
Yeah.
that's like, yeah, you have?
Yeah. I have. I have.
Okay, yeah. So for anybody listening that might not know, that was like a essentially started out as a kind of fan film, but made very well, sort of picked up by Capcom and Machinima. And then what they did was kind of release it in webisodes. And then when that was all done, they edited those webisodes into a feature, a cohesive feature. And that's what you see on the DVD Blu ray.
Yeah.
So that's sort of our model for this, at least at the moment. We're just going to keep on campaigning, keep on going, keep on. We're going to submit the script to some, screenwriting competitions and stuff like that, try to get some grants. We're you kind of pulling out all stops here to kind of get it going. For me, if someone said I'm making Dark Power Rangers, I would be like, here's some money, especially if I had money. Like for me, it's such an easy sell, so it's kind of hard for me to understand. It's probably an ego thing of mine, but it's almost hard for me to understand why why we haven't gotten more traction so far. But uh, we've gotten some. We've definitely gotten some, but we'll see how it goes. I think it's an awesome idea. I know I'm trying to like see if I could eventually pitch it to Shutter or something,
Oh.
or like Tubi or something. Well, Tubi doesn't have any original, do they? They might. Well, anyway, like somebody like more minor than Netflix
Hmm.
that's like probably doable. Like I'd love to do that. So, and if anybody out there that's listening that is wondering where the project's been, it's just been kind of stuck at the moment because um there's elements of the production that I sort of just needed to self fund because we just didn't make enough in the Kickstarter.
Hmm.
I'm grateful for everybody that contributed to the Kickstarter, but the Kickstarter, you know, we made, under 3 grand, I think. And we just still have other um, expenses that I pretty much, I think, just need to self fund. And Hollywood's been about as dead as it could be for a year now.
Yeah.
So that's affected me personally, to be honest with you. And this there's a currently, as of this recording, there's an IATSE strike. IATSE's the biggest union, pretty much.
Yeah.
They haven't struck yet, but they're in like pre-strike negotiations, and it looks at this time like they will avoid it. But at the same time, Hollywood producers, Hollywood in general, are not greenlighting anything until this is done. They want this out of the way. They want to have no strike on the horizon. So what that has caused is for everyone to be out of work in the industry, including me. So that's where, and that's affected Metal Force, honestly.
Yeah.
So that's what's happened, and I'm working on it. I think about it every day. It's just it's taking a while, and like I took an Unreal class for professional reasons, and I actually storyboarded what we're going to shoot in Unreal, and it is like I mean, it's gonna make the shoot pretty easy, actually. I mean, not easy, but like way easier.
Yeah,
It's an animated storyboard, so it's pretty professional, I think, for how low budget it is. So, and it helps with the DP, the cameraman and all that. So,
yeah,
um, that's kind of the major update for Metal Force right now. I'd love to shoot it. I'd love for somebody to be like, "Yeah, here's $1 million, make it." I hope, I wish for that day. But we'll see what happens.
yeah. Yeah, I do agree with you, especially with the strikes. Being out of work for almost a year, it did affect a lot in the industry. My mom is actually a makeup artist
Oh yeah.
for some television series, so she's been out of work for a while. So yeah, I understand.
So your mom is IATSE, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
yeah. So that beside that, you still have the enthusiasm for the project. Obviously, you're
Yeah.
very eager to work
Yeah.
on. It's just the obviously the funds. You need the funds.
We need the funds. I just need to pay my cast and crew.
Yeah,
I need at least a weekend, and uh, we need to make a new helmet and a new suit. And currently, we can't even like finish one with the current funds.
mhm,
And uh that's the expensive part. And we just, we have an idea of kind of being able to change out the colors maybe in post. So like if we want to have a like another ranger in another shot, it would kind of use the same suit, but change out the colors somehow in
yeah,
order to save money. We have a lot of ideas like that in our head right now.
mhm.
So but yeah, it's totally a dream project. I mean, I this is like I love this stuff, and I think the initial spark for it was whenever the 2017 Power Rangers movie came out.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it's kind of had mixed reviews, but I was pretty much into it. I enjoyed it enough for what it was, and it did kind of reinvigorate that specific nostalgia for me.
Yeah, and also I think renewed interest obviously in that franchise. So yeah, why wouldn't it influence you in creating your own story?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so there was you know, I had kind of reacquainted myself with. I took several years off probably from college, and a little bit after college, where I was kind of stepped away, not entirely, but I stepped a little bit away from the nerd world because I was in a different phase of my life.
Hmm.
And then 10, 12, I don't even know how long now. Yeah, 12, 13 years ago, I reacquainted myself with the nerd world again, like really, you know, come back to it. And I had reacquainted myself with Batman and Superman, Ninja Turtles, and all this. And there was that one final key, which I just hadn't, because I think that's one of the ones with the most stigma around it because of the tone of how silly it is,
Yeah.
just how childish in a way the old show is. So it kind of took me a longer to come back around to that one, and but I did, and I'm glad I did, and I see it for what it is. And then I started watching the Japanese show, Super Sentai. I wanted to see. I looked up the best Power Rangers seasons and the best Super Sentai seasons. I wanted to kind of learn as much as I could and learn about more Kamen Rider. I learned about Kamen Rider Black at that time, and uh, some of the others. So yeah, I mean, it's been fun kind of getting back into all that.
I can say why, especially if you stepped away for it for a while and you're just coming at it from a different perspective, you know, especially since you've obviously got mature, it's like, okay, let me look at it this way. I can't, I have to step away from the kid version that I've seen. I'm seeing it with kid eyes. Let me see it with adult eyes. So it's always fascinating to see stuff like that, especially from stuff you've grown up with as an adult.
Definitely, definitely. And there is totally with this particular franchise, it's been kind of fertile for reinterpretation and for, people doing something new with it. Because, I mean, if you look at the Boom comics, that's definitely like kind of a fan outcry, I'd say, especially in America, for a kind of more mature Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Those comics are definitely more mature than the show ever was, and the show was fine as is, but it's cool to see a little bit. At least it doesn't have to be rated R like mine, but like a PG-13 version, like the Boom comics are,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of fun, kind of sci-fi superhero kind of show, or story in that way. And I have been at, like, not even Power Morphicon. Maybe it was Power Morphicon. It was at some convention, and it was a Power Rangers panel. And I swear to you, this guy stands up and asks the panelists, where is a more adult Power Rangers show? Where is this? I didn't put him up to it at all. And I was just like, and that was after I kind of started to percolate my idea. And so I think that there's some sort of demand for this.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually think you could deliver it. I think also, I think what you need is obviously more promotion. Obviously, especially if you actually go to conventions and have your own table with maybe some of the props that you have made on the table, and maybe even a short comic, like a 5-page comic, just to show the concept.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
so
That would be
then
good. We did
yeah,
have this. We had this guy, this helmet. This is an older one. This was preliminary. We're redoing this.
yeah,
But that's from the campaign video, and we had that on the table at Japan World Heroes Convention about 6 months ago or so, and we were showing the campaign video over and over. But yeah, I actually have thought about doing a comic too for this.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that's actually a, you know sort of in our mind, just trying to get the funds for the real thing at the moment.
no, I get it.
Yeah, but yeah, something tangible, some goods people can buy at the table, definitely, uh you know in the plans.
Yeah, because I think that will definitely help you out, especially with creating awareness. And you could say, well, where can I find more of this? When's the movie coming out? And I said that you could say, well, we're definitely doing a GoFundMe page. Here it is. Here's the link. If you
Yeah,
really feel then, if you really think that you know you want to see this type of movie, uh, go to the GoFundMe page and help us get the funds up.
definitely. Yeah, that's gonna be the plan. Hopefully, people have a lot of money at Power Morph God. We'll see.
Well, if they can afford going to there, I'm pretty sure they've got some money. Not a lot, but some.
I I hope so. We'll see. We will see.
Yeah,
So, I yeah, I can't say any names right now either, and it's not anybody from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but
hmm
there has been some interest from some actors from previous shows to
Ooh,
be in it. And I will
okay.
not reveal any name at the moment. And also, that's not confirmed. There's no contract, there's no money, nothing like that, but there was some interest by some parties. So I'll say that.
Now that's interesting,
Yeah.
but it also goes back to the need to doing a darker version of this
Yeah.
type of story. So that's actually good.
Yeah.
That there
Yeah.
was some interest from some parties we will not talk about,
Yeah.
obviously, but the fact that they also want a darker version that type of story of these type of characters is fantastic.
I mean, I think it's kind of insane it hasn't been made, honestly,
Yeah,
yet. I mean, it's good for me because I want to be the one to make it, but um and again, they have sort of been made in Japan in a way. Like
yeah,
Kamen Rider, there's several versions that are rated R, like Kamen Rider Amazon. There's two versions of that show, and they're very bloody. And there's that certain like tokusatsu cheese to it, but still it's pretty much rated R.
Yeah.
Like so like in a way we're not doing anything like 100% new, but I think it's sort of new in the Power Rangers realm.
Yeah.
Maybe there was Garo, which I've only seen a little bit of, Garo,
Mm.
and that's like a little bit dark Power Rangers show, and people seem to like that, but I've only watched the first episode or so, so I can't really gauge it yet. But so yeah, I mean it's been sort of kind of done, but this exact mix of elements, I think, especially with a metal band and all that, it's pretty much new. Yeah.
I'd ask you this: would you have any
Okay.
songs coming in on in the movie?
One more time, sorry.
Would you create some original songs for the movie? You know, for the
Songs.
yeah,
Okay, so some metal songs you're saying?
yeah.
Uh, we've thought about that, and I do know people in metal bands.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really say the name of them either. I mean, they're not like Metallica or anything, but
Oh,
like they're in some metal bands, and like we could probably uh do that to a degree, but I think that um we don't. Yeah,
yeah.
how can I
It
say
comes
this
down.
without? I'm trying to say this without giving away too much. um yeah, basically, yeah, we could have original songs in it. It's in the realm of possibility, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think we just leave it at that.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Sorry,
like,
I
yeah.
wish I could reveal more, but I don't want to give away everything.
No, no, no. That's good. You don't want to reveal everything. You don't.
Yeah.
It's like you're like a magician. You don't want to tell you how the trick is. Is done.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think that the soundtrack itself will be entirely 100% metal either. They're a metal band, but
Mm,
if they're walking down like a hallway, a lot of metal's not good for like building suspense. I mean, maybe it depends on the song, I guess, but like
yeah.
we'll probably have like what they call dungeon synth and like some sort of like, maybe like John Carpenter style, or, some sort of like horror synth. Like there's definitely like there's a lot of Japanese influence, but we're also kind of making an American horror movie at the same time.
Yeah.
So we're going to have that influence as well. And if it's like a, suspenseful kind of horror moment, probably might lean more into synth stuff.
Mm,
But when like insane stuff is happening or fighting is happening or whatever, we will, where it fits, we'll definitely use metal in it. So, yeah, that's just been kind of going through my head. Just whatever makes it the best, the best movie, really.
yeah.
So, yeah. And actually, so, black metal itself, there'd be a sub genre of a band
Hmm.
of metal, cosmic black metal, which
Oh.
is it's pretty, there's like a bajillion subgenres of metal, right? Cosmic black metal is essentially like black metal with space themes. Um, there's a band called Mare Cognitum, which is Mare space Cognitum. I think it's a one man band actually. He had nothing to do with Metal Force. He doesn't know us at all. I'm just saying as an influence. He does cosmic black metal, and I think it's really good. And I would think the band plays something like that, and just to kind of connect with the space themes, the alien themes, and the metal, it kind of all ties it together. So, yeah, that's the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. This is your story, but you definitely wanted to direct it. Did you arrive at that? Did you arrive at the decision of directing it, or you were like, maybe I should just direct it myself? What was that process about?
Okay, I've wanted something to direct.
Okay.
So, okay, so yeah, so the other kind of epiphany I had with all the time I had to think to myself during the pandemic was, I've been in the film industry in some, way or another for 15 years or something.
Mhm.
And I just felt like I finally had the epiphany that, and this is advice for anybody else out there, there's kind of no there's really no working yourself up to director. Assistant directors, ADs, go on to be producers,
Mhm.
like line producers or whatever it is, some type of producer.
Yeah.
And producing is cool. I mean, I'm doing that with this as well. But the way you become a director is you just direct. So, and a lot of the times it's basically you self-fund a project, you you edit it, and then you show, get it all ready, you show it at a film festival, and then you have a conversation with somebody at the film festival, basically, and hopefully start your career after that. And who knows if I even have a career. I just want to, keep making these things. But I just yeah, I had the epiphany of like, you got to go straight to it. I felt like I was working up for years
Mhm.
to it, and it was like, there's this is not a thing. This doesn't exist. So yeah, we're just gonna self fund and live the dream. Hopefully.
Well, my fingers crossed to you on that one, and I'm definitely going to do my best to help promote this as well.
Thank you. That'd be great. Yeah, we've been working on it for a long time, and it did go through a kind of a revision once or twice, especially when we changed from a show to a feature. But at the same time, the feature is going to be kind of in webisode format unless we get a big lump sum here.
Yeah.
So we're kind of doing both, really. But ultimately, those episodes are going to be made into one feature. So um that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We want it to be bloody. We want like limbs ripped off. We want it to have good old horror fun. We want blood on those helmets.
Oh,
You know, like which you really haven't seen a whole lot of, especially not in Power Rangers. In Kamen Rider you have
yeah.
again. So yeah, but yeah, we want that's what we want to do.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hopefully, sounds good to all of you guys. Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah. I remember when we had a brief talk about this. Probably the last time it was on superhero stuff you should know. You talked a little bit about the project to me, obviously describing it, and from the vibes I was getting, it was not just Power Rangers, Stranger Things, X Files. It was all that, obviously, but there was also, it had to me elements of kind of like the Evil Dead series, particularly the original ones, just on the violence.
Because of the camp.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it'll have some of that, I think. We're still honing in some parts of that tone. I mean, my idea is that pretty much think of 11 getting a Power Ranger suit. Like
yeah,
and she already has powers, so it's like, to me that's kind of what I like. I mean, it's more than that obviously, but that's pretty much what if 11 and Eddie the metal guy got a Power Ranger suit? Like that's what I want to make.
yeah.
And then three other people. Like that's the tone. That is pretty much it. So uh maybe some of the violence would have some camp. We're still kind of figuring that part of it out, honestly.
Yeah. I think from what you told us, you've got a pretty good balance of the different genres, obviously, and obviously we can tell you really want to make this, and this is your passion project right here. So
Yeah.
we just gotta make sure that you get the funds and you get to make this movie.
I would love it. It's my childhood dream to be a director. A lot of people wanted to be actors when they were younger and stuff, or voice actors or whatever, but for whatever reason it was always director for me. I is Spill Steven Spielberg's presence was huge in the 90s when I was growing up, and
Yeah.
that was kind of like my dream. So via crowdfunding, I think I'll be living the dream at least a little bit. So I think that'll be cool, and producing too, probably second.
Yeah.
you know but definitely directing has always been kind of number one. And man, like directing the campaign video, I had directed like a lot of like kind of like one man projects, doing like documentaries on my, you can see them on my profile on my portfolio page.
Mhm.
But like, that was like fairly easy comparatively, because the shoot for the campaign video was, it was my first time being like an actual director in that way. Like, and
Yeah.
I had like, there were like 20 people looking up to me for that shoot, and but it was cool. It was a good experience. I
Well, yeah,
definitely I liked it. It was just like, oh wow, this is all on me right now, pretty much. No, I mean, not all on me, but it's definitely a group effort. But what I'm trying to say is, being the director, everybody's looking, for the guidance for this or that, I guess, right?
yeah. They're also trying to bring your vision,
Yeah, yeah.
to
And
life.
Susie's and Matt's.
Yeah,
Matt is her husband.
yeah.
Matt also is story by credit, and has written kind of the Bible for it, which was, yeah. So that's another, yeah. Matt's also in the mix, but Susie is the sole screenwriter. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, yeah, it only makes sense. You have to have an idea, man. You also have to have someone that writes the Bible, pretty much writing the rules that happens in this universe, and then you have the
yeah,
screenwriter that comes in and just takes those ideas, just put them in story form.
pretty much. And yeah, let me tell you, the Bible part of it. You have the way the characters act with each other, like we talked about earlier with their chart.
Mhm.
How they feel about each other, secretively or not. And then you have like, what do the aliens want? What do the suits actually do? What do the suits do for, you know for this part? I don't want to give away that part of it, I guess, but like, what? Yeah, you have to ask yourself, what do these suits actually do other than look cool? So like, we really thought about that. We thought about, what is the actual, well, this is what any screenwriter would do, but we had to think about like what they're what they're actually going through. Like, what are we trying to say with this, other than just have a metal band get abducted and get suits? So like, it's been a long process. We started in 2020, it's 2024 now, and it's definitely grown and matured, I would say, actually. I think some people will be surprised at how mature some parts of it will be.
Mhm.
um because we love nerd stuff, and we love it whenever like they grow, like, if like currently with X-Men 97,
Yeah,
how mature that is. It's still X-Men, but it's like, there are moments where it's like, this is very maturely written.
yeah. It's clearly meant for the people that grew up with the cartoon in the '90s. It's clearly meant for them.
Oh yeah, I mean, my wife was watching it, and she was like, is this for kids? And I was like, I
Eh,
don't know. I don't know if it is, actually. Kids
yeah,
can enjoy it, but there's just a lot of depth here.
yeah. They might not get a lot of the references because they clearly got references to some real life stuff, events.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is some pretty violent stuff that's happening in the show. I was like, yeah, some kids might watch it, but they might not understand it and they may be horrified.
And
So
the relationship stuff too, and some of the who betrays who, and some of the deeper themes. Like, I feel
yeah.
like I understood a little bit of that when I was a kid,
Mhm.
when I watched it originally, but it's definitely like on another level with this reboot, or this
Well,
continuation, whatever you'd call it.
I would say continuation, but it's not constricted like it was. It's not on a network like
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah,
original. It's
yeah.
not constricted to those type of rules anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And to connect it all, the same guy that did the theme song for X-Men that we all love also did the theme song for Power Rangers. He was the guy that literally wrote Go Go Power Rangers, Ron Wasserman. So those are connected at the hip. Also, same producer, Margaret Lesh. She was the genius that kind of engineered both those shows, staked her career on both of them, and kind of owned the '90s. So look who had the last laugh on that one.
Oh yeah,
Uh, you know, yeah, it's great. been loving it. But yeah, we wanna, that's another thing we want to do with it is like, which is kind of not Power Rangers. Although I will say there were surprisingly some parts, because I went back and rewatched some others. Well, I didn't rewatch actually. I watched some other series of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Back when I started to reacquaint myself, and there's some of it was actually like deeper than expected too. There was a series called SPD that was like, it's still for kids for sure, but it was definitely had like kind of deeper, more mature moments. And yeah, I just, we all love it when things like that happen, I think.
Well, yeah, because we want some of that programming to reach just the not just the kids but also the adult audience because adults may be watching this.
Oh yeah,
So we want to reach. They're like we want to reach some of those you know those audience members just to say yeah it's for kids but there are some adult things happening here.
for sure. SPD and RPM for on the Power Ranger on the American Power Ranger side, generally regarded as like the two best seasons, other than Mighty Morphin, the first one. But
Yeah.
that one's kind of like OG and kind of grandfathered in. But outside of that one, our SPD RPM are the top and like more or less the kind of the darkest too. I mean, when I say dark, it's like nothing like Frank Miller or anything, but
Yeah.
it's like it's dark for Power Rangers, and like those are the arguably the best shows in the franchise history so far. And yeah, and there's character development and there's a lot of growth and things that you wouldn't expect would happen. There are definitely filler episodes, but that's just how it goes. And I've talked about it before, like I don't know if we're going to do exactly this, and we're definitely not Frank Miller, but an idea we toss around in our heads was like, what if somebody did a Frank Miller treatment to Power Rangers? And like that would be, that's Metal Force.
Yeah.
So uh, no one's quite as like jaded as that Batman is, or that Batman seems to be
Yeah.
in the show. But like something that you take an existing property and sort of darken it up a little bit. But we want I kind of want to stay away from like being way overly dark too, which so there will be comedy again, like Stranger Things has comedy. I don't want to be humorless. I think that's a mistake. So there's definitely jokes written in it, and I'm going to allow for improv a little bit when on set. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Um, Personally, I'm very excited about it. I
Thank
definitely
you.
want to see it, and I do think this could get, if you do get the funding and it gets, an awareness, and you could theoretically take this to either Tubi or maybe even Shutter, if that's doable. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I mean, Shutter has Psycho Gorman right now too, which is a
Yeah,
tokusatsu thing. But so I think that they would be into it. It's just I think basically we got to make it first. I think how this is going to work is very realistically, brass tacks kind of thing. Is they're Tubi's Shutter's not going to give us money. They're waiting for something to be made and then them buy it. They want to buy a complete thing.
yeah,
Again, no one. I haven't had a meeting with them, but that's pretty much how I gather it will happen. It would happen. So, uh, yeah,
yeah. So let's get this made. Let's get this made.
let's let's get it made, please. Yeah, let's. If you want something like this, let me know. We also, there's Star Wars does not have a monopoly on laser blades,
Mhm.
lightsabers. So there's she wields like a lightsaber type weapon. Other shows have used the same thing. You see it in the poster.
Yeah,
Um, Ami Shimada, she is Japanese. We wanted to keep that cultural element alive and well. I lived in Japan for 3 years. I speak Japanese. My wife is Japanese. Big surprise there. But so like, but so uh, yeah, I wanted a connection to Japan because that's where it's Super Sentai. It's where this comes from. Uh, originally, and to be to keep it right. I think it needed, and we needed the lead to be Japanese. So
Yeah.
no one else is Japanese actually in it. Well, uh, yeah, no one else is Japanese in it, but she's the lead and she's Japanese. So, but the rest of the cast is diverse, as we saw earlier. So yeah, and it's gray aliens and Men in Black basically, and more than that actually, but I'm not going to say more than that actually right now. Probably shouldn't
Yeah.
even have said that,
Yeah.
but it's
Don't.
fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the key thing. You can't reveal too much.
Can't reveal too much, but yeah, I wanted the gray or something close to the classic gray as well. I think again maybe it's because I grew up in the '90s. Unsolved mysteries and Fire in the Sky. That's another big one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I wanted that. I didn't want like something more, a crazier alien design. I guess I kind of just wanted a gray.
No, I get it. I get it. It makes
Those are
perfect.
scary. Yeah, those are scary to me. Those
Yeah.
alien abduction was like the scariest thing to me personally as a kid because it felt like it was the most likely to happen. So
Yeah.
it it didn't even when I was a kid I what I went I grew up going to church and stuff, but I wasn't too afraid of like ghosts and things like that. I was afraid of aliens specifically.
Well, because it makes you wonder what's out there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's pretty, I mean, that's pretty much the synopsis of it.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. So, folks, please check this out. This is the link is actually in the bottom. www.metalforce.ninja. Go to the
Dot
go.
Ninja.
Yeah, go to the GoFundMe page, fund it if you want to see this type of content, and help this get made.
Please. Please do. Yeah, that would be great. Do you want to go to the pitch? I mean, we can just kind of go through that. We already did that pretty much. We could scroll through it real quick.
All right, hold on.
We just so they can see more. Yeah, you pretty much saw this
Yeah.
log line. We pretty much went over that. Yeah, just some visuals. Just trying to show people what we're thinking of. That image is from Fire in the Sky.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to say names, but I contacted people that worked on Fire in the Sky, the practical effects department.
Oh.
Just to get some advice. They're not working on the film.
No.
But I just told them what I was trying to do, and they were like, "Cool here," and then gave me a little bit of advice here and there. So, yeah. And influences video, yeah, here you can see that. Check that out if you want. We don't have to click on that now, but
Yeah.
then these are the same things from the Seed and Spark, pretty much, with their cast members and band bio. Let's see what else. A little bit of like where this movie could live, or where what's the demographic, where what world does what genre does this live in. You kind of have to make these pitch decks for people that don't know anything about this stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. supermetalforce@gmail.com is the email also. So
yeah, so guys, seriously, you want to see this type of content? Go find this.
Please, yeah, that'd be awesome. We would love to just kind of make this. It'd be awesome to just kind of do this all the time.
Yeah.
if I could live off of doing Metal Force like as a full-time job, but at least is like just to get this at least the first part of this one going would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so check out metalforce.ninja. Go to the GoFundMe page, fund it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Before we actually go, as many of you know, I have my own comic. It's called Codename Hunter. It's at indieplanet.com. So if you want to read issues 1 through 3, because I'm working on issue 4 right now, go and purchase
Okay.
those.
Okay. That's cool.
And as always, hit that like button and subscribe. Well, Andrew, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. You're welcome to come back anytime you want to discuss any project.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I've been in Metal Force land for so long. That's the only one I have at the moment. But but yeah, I feel like maybe I need to think of another idea next. But I just been kind of like fine tuning this one for 4 years. So
Hey,
yeah,
it helps. It helps to fine tune things.
yeah. I mean, like I said, it has grown, it has matured for sure from the initial stages. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm A. Miller, and this has been Tripping Through Comics YouTube channel. Have a good night, folks. Also, be sure to actually follow us on our social media accounts, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you'd like to follow us on YouTube, just hit that like button and subscribe.